Every great final product is born of an idea, and when it comes to the property market, it's always a plus to have a tangible idea put on the table. We're talking about architectural designs on our Property Essential today. It is often said that a picture is worth 1,000 words. This is eminent in the architectural and design world, where it is vital to be able to display technical drawings, designs and proposals in a very visual way. If you can imagine the construction process like a story, this story begins to be told immediately upon unveiling of your model, instead of having to go through pages and pages of detailed preamble before beginning the first chapter. Whether you use it for sales, communication or design, your architectural model will make projects easier and quicker to move through to completion and give you more credibility in today's highly competitive commercial marketplace. Architects' models serve as a bridge between an idea and its realization. No other representational form is as effective in enabling the viewer to perceive the spaces, shapes, surfaces and textures created by the architect's design. It is therefore a prerequisite in the design process.
There are so many materials available. It depends on the technique you're going for. If you decide to go manual, that is hand-done models, you can go for CADs, for example, mounting board, Forex, Corex, such like boards. And then you clad them on the outside with papers like pastel, embossed, and other manila paper, depending now on the effect you want to get. And then you have now improved versions of that, whereby you go for laser cutters, whereby the finished product, as it comes out of the machine, it's almost more or less done. You don't need to come again and put another material on top of it. For the windows and the doors, any openings in the building, we tend to use a material that can let in light. It should be like translucent, so that it just shows the impression that light can enter into the building. Most times we use a clear material, clear transparent material, but depending now, if it's being lit from the inside, there's a different material we use, whereby maybe it's laminated to like sieve the light, so that the light is not too much. And then when we go to the roof, it again now depends on the budget of the client. We can use the old techniques, for example, the mounting board and paper. So you actually print the paper with the roof pattern for the tiles, for example, tiles, shingles, whatever roof is being used. You just print that out, and then you stick it on the board, and then it's more or less done. We moved away from the technology of using bulbs, since they normally blow after a short while. So nowadays we use LEDs, since they are more efficient and they're easier to assemble, and you can get a varied number of ways to use them. It's not just a single, and they're small, so they're better for models. And then when it comes to landscaping, we use the normal objects. We have the cars, the trees, the shrubs. All of those are available. They are local versions of the same, and they're also the imported ones which we normally get from China.
The basic foundation of model making lies in skills such as sketching on paper and knowing how to operate a saw. On top of that, you have to be able to envision how the model looks when it is finished, how it comes together, how it fits into its space and display, all before you even begin to work on it. If the model needs to be transported on an elevator, for instance, and it is too small or narrow to fit the complete model, it might have to be made in pieces and assembled on site. If a model has to be shipped across the country, arrangements have to be discussed way ahead of time. The process underlying the creation of a building requires that an architect must think about both construction, functional use, and the beauty of his or her creations. Architecture is about construction design characterized by design attributes that contribute to the project's awareness and significance.
When it comes to the interior, since most clients would tend to want to see the inside of the building, there are two options. You can have the detachable model. This is just simply a block model, but you can see the inside. So you remove the roof and you see the floors inside. So it can be one floor, two floors, depending. So you stack them on top of each other. So you just remove one by one as you see the floor inside. The other second option is having two separate models. So you have one block model and then you have the floor model.
Quality in architecture can be measured through creativity, design, construction inspection, administration of the building contracts for projects, knowledge of the space and structural limitations based on a number of factors, and, last but not least important, the ability to make architecture which attracts and communicates with people. This can be increased by the strategic use of model visualization, especially if potential customers seem skeptical about a particular project.
A client can understand the actual finishing of the construction or the structure which is coming up, because if he doesn't have that picture in his mind, he doesn't know if he is sure of the cash which is going to induce in that project, or is going to waste his money.
So, how long does it take to make a standard size model?
For a standard mansionette with the ordinary finishes, that can take around 2 days or 2 to 3 days. But depending now on the level of detail, if you have sun shading, if you have different elements protruding, it becomes more complicated. So let's say up to 4 days.
Some of the projects that we have handled include the West Pokot County Assembly, and then we do have other like the Riverside apartments in Nairobi University, and then we do have another one that we did for the real estate, the Kumasi company, which is located in Riverside also.
Consisting of architectural students from the University of Nairobi and Technical University of Kenya, no project is too large or too small for this group of students. From cityscapes and commercial buildings to homes and swimming pools, they can design it and create a physical model of it.
There is a very stiff competition. There are some other firms which are making models. But what we were so much interested in is what are we going to come up with so different that our competitors will not have it.
When persuading the client to accept a proposal, it is important to be able to point out section views by referring to a scale model rather than trying to explain it in words. Potential problems that could possibly have been missed from just having detail and elevation drawings can be seen immediately. The model can be moved around and replaced to avoid potential obstacles, for instance gas lines and pipes, thereby quickly testing new aspects without having to literally go back to the drawing board. This alone makes the model cost-effective, since drawing revisions can be reduced to a minimum, saving time and design man-hours. Furthermore, when the construction project is complete, architectural models make stunning public displays and are an excellent way to showcase your portfolio of projects. Conceptual architecture defines the future. You are only limited by your imagination. Turn your ideas into reality using architectural models.